Hello viewers, welcome to this video lecture series on C programming. Today's topic of discussion is on compilation and execution of a C program. So basically this topic is dealing with the different steps that are getting involved right from the source file to an executable file. So these steps I have shown with the flow diagram here. The very first component shown here is the source program, that is the program typed by the programmer or the user. You are writing a program like this. Let me just write one simple program which is going to add the values of A and B. This program has got two lines with pound symbol. It is beginning with the pound symbol. What exactly is going to happen with these lines during the compilation process? So suppose if this is your first program, so the source program is what? You are writing the program and you are giving the name. Let me just write first.c. So this program is what? It is in high level language. So we call it as the source code also. So you can write here, this is the source code. Now this source code is fetched to the preprocessor. So in few of the textbooks directly the source code is given to the compiler, but remember that compiler is not just the compiler component. The preprocessor, compiler and assembler, these three in a package is called as a compiler. First.c is what? Given to the preprocessor. What is the job of the preprocessor? The preprocessor is converting the C code into simplified C code or source code into simplified source code. The main job of the preprocessor is to convert these statements. Which statements? The statements which begin with the hash symbol, that is the pound symbol. Now these are called as the preprocessor directives. So it will try to process these statements and it gets included in the source code and it becomes a simplified source code. So in our program we have two such statements like this, hash include stdio.h, and there is one more hash defined, that is we have defined a macro here. So these two statements are what has to get translated by the preprocessor, and then it will get included in the source code and that code becomes a simplified source code. Then finally the simplified source code is given to the compiler. Now, and also let me write the extension for this. Now your first.c, which was here after the preprocessor, it will become first dot, the extension is I. Fine. Then it is given to the compiler. The compiler will convert this simplified source code into assembly language or the assembly code also you can write down. The assembly code that is obtained from the compiler is generated depending on what processor the system has got, and the extension for this we can write down first.s. Okay. Then comes this particular code is now given to the assembler. This assembler is another program which is going to convert this assembly code into object code. Object code, the extension is .o. So then we can write down here first.o. Then the object code is what? Given to the linker. That means the job of the linker is to link the object files. Okay, this file, whatever object code is generated here, it will link this object file with the library files. So in our program, to make our program get executed, we need the library files. So whatever library header files we have included stdio.h in order to carry out the printf and scanf functions, the definition of those functions are there in the library files. So the linker will link the object code of the source program with the library files and it will produce what? The executable code. So the extension is exe. So I can write down here first.exe. Finally, the loader takes the executable code and places it in the primary memory or the main memory, or you can call it by the name RAM. Then the program is now present in the primary memory for execution and now it becomes a process. So what do you mean by a process, or how do you define a process? A program in execution is called as a process. And finally the CPU fetches the instructions from this primary memory and execute it. So these are the different stages that are getting involved in the compilation and execution of a C program. I can tell you the different extensions here. You can see this is the first.c, then it becomes first.i, extension is .i. After it is given to the preprocessor, then the extension becomes .s after it is given to the compiler. then the extension becomes .o after it is given to the assembler, then the extension become .exe after it is given to the linker. Here I have written one feature of C programming as modular programming. Suppose if there is a project on C and this project has got multiple modules, then the linker will combine the object files of all these modules. That means if multiple modules are there, then multiple source files will be there, and if multiple source file is there, for each of the source file there will be a corresponding object file. So the linker will combine the object files of all the different modules with the library files needed to perform the execution of the program. Then it will combine and make it into an executable file, exe extension. So this is all about the different steps that are getting involved in the compilation and execution of a C program. So hope you find this session useful. If you find it useful, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye bye and take care.